LoftyFiber now has a shuttle race for the Ashford table loom. Weavers can easily throw and catch a shuttle on the Ashford table loom without fear of having the shuttle dive down through the warp. This video is showing the race in use on a 16-inch Ashford. It's also available for the 24 and 32-inch Ashford looms.
Okay, this is a race bracket, and there's simply a little bungee here that runs between the bracket and what I call the shelf. And we can use this cord lock to adjust how tight the shelf will be against the race. Okay, in this one, we'll just screw that in there. The reason we have the screw is so that you can adjust the height of the race, and you can do that simply by turning the adjustment screw right here. And you can see it's lowering and raising. Okay, so I'll put it back on about like this. I'll go ahead and I will affix this to the race. So what I like to do is just turn it this way. We want to put the race on so that the more slanted section is closer to the reed. So I'll flip it over like that, and I'll just line this up, put it somewhere in the middle of the Velcro. Do the same thing here. Like that. Okay, to attach the race, just put the top of the bracket over the top of the lip. Here, get the race centered, and then just push toward the back, and it'll lock on here. To remove it, just in reverse, pull down here, and remove. It's that simple. So here, one of the adjustments we need to make is the race is not close enough to your warp. So you need to take and turn this adjustment screw. To raise it, you'll turn the screws in a counterclockwise position. And you can see the race is moving up closer to the bottom of your warp. You don't really need it touching it. You just want to get it close. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. You want to make sure that they're even. And that looks pretty good. Okay, the other thing I want to show you is how to adjust the race here. One of the things that we want the race to do as you're beating is when it comes in contact with your warp or your cloth, we want it to be able to push down so that it's not pushing up too hard on your warp. So to do that, we have a little hinge with a mechanism with a bungee and a tightener. And all you have to do to tighten it up is push the button on the bungee like this and just cinch it up like that. Do that to both sides. I like to keep them at about the same amount of tension. That's probably a little loose. You can test that by putting your shuttle on it to see if it moves down. It isn't moving down, so it's probably fine where it is. If you ever need to tighten it, you can tighten it. To loosen it, push the button, and then just pull the lock back. One thing I want to mention here is that this is a 16-inch Ashford table loom, and the 24 or the 32, since it's wider, we're going to have an additional bracket right here in the middle. It's not shown here because it isn't needed on the narrower width. It's no different. It works the same way. It's just an additional bracket to attach to make sure that the race doesn't slump. And you'll just want to remember to adjust it in the same way that you adjust the other two to make sure that the race is straight.